I rise to speak on the New South Wales RSL. I'm told that Mick Bainbridge and Paul James have been involved in providing legal support to a claimant who was encouraged to take legal action against RSL Lifecare, which is wholly owned subsidiary of the RSL in New South Wales. In another instance, OLA left a veteran to fend for himself in court because the night before the court case was heard, Mr James told him to cop it, and I quote, to cop it on the chin, and that OLA wouldn't be representing him because the money had run out. What a disgrace. I'm also terribly concerned about the treatment of veteran staff, especially females, and the RSL board members by OLA involving bullying, harassment and intimidation. A former employee of OLA told me that Mr Bainbridge and Mr James both spoke about attempting to get women off the RSL New South Wales board because she was, and I quote, feminist and a thorn in their side, end quote. And another that Mr Bainbridge ran down, her fellow RSL New South Wales director, to his staff at OLA, saying she did not deserve to be on the RSL New South Wales board, had no qualification and was a recipient of handouts she didn't deserve. This same woman attempted to raise issues affecting female veterans, and Mr Bainbridge got angry and told her, and I quote, I don't have time for female effing veteran issues. I don't give a shit about female veterans. I've also been told that Mr Bainbridge bullied one of his female legal staff members who was a former ADF female veteran. This included that would amount to fat shaming by commenting on what she was wearing and eating. It is completely and utterly unacceptable that directors of an organisation that exists to support veterans, whether they're male or female, has financial ties to a firm that has been accused of taking advantage of these very own veterans. The leadership of the RSL New South Wales must be held accountable for their failure. If they are not willing to root out this corruption and take a stand for vulnerable veterans, then we as lawmakers must intervene. In the wake of the Royal Commission, we need stronger regulations and oversight of businesses that market themselves as veteran-friendly or veteran-owned. I call for the following measurements to be introduced immediately. First, the RSL Australia must investigate whether legal services provided by Operation Legal Australia to RSL New South Wales sub-branches actually delivered the services which they were paid, and that the costs were appropriate in accordance with industry standards. I want to know if the RSL New South Wales Board has failed in its fiduciary duties to protect the organisation from this behaviour. Secondly, the Law Society of New South Wales should investigate the fee structure and approach to supporting veterans for legal services employed by Operation Legal Australia. I want to let the Law Society of New South Wales know that tomorrow or Monday they'll be getting a heap of documentation on what I am talking about this evening to make your job a lot easier to investigate. Thirdly, the Law Society of New South Wales must examine whether Mr Bainbridge and Mr James should have their practising certificates cancelled. Finally, that the RSL New South Wales seriously consider if Mr Bainbridge and Mr James are fit and proper persons to be directors of RSL New South Wales, and should they hold a position on the board of RSL New South Wales. We have an obligation and a duty to protect our veterans not only from external threats, but from those within our own ranks who would seek to do them harm. Let me make this very clear. This is not about shutting down veteran-owned businesses. Most of you do a great lot of work out there. You're supportive, you're compassionate, you do the right thing, and you'll go beyond for your fellow veteran mates. We know that. But we also need to call out those businesses who are owned and operated by veterans who are not doing the right thing. The ones that are exploiting veterans and manipulating the RSL, and this system needs to end. Our veterans deserve better. They deserve a system that truly supports them, and businesses that uplift them, and legal services that protect them, not use them as a guinea pig, and not a system that exploits their pain and suffering for profit. And quite frankly, what is going on at that New South Wales RSL, you are atrocious. What is going on with you, Mick Bainbridge, I told you 2 years ago I was on to you. And I am on to you, mate, and the evidence is there. And honestly, you are shameful what you are doing, and I have called you out. The evidence is there. You are finished, both of you, both you and Mr James. Thank you.